Hello everyone, video 1 of module 2. We continue talking about basics of modeling and how to create a model using the commands for drawing elements and also edit elements. To do this, I want to create a new model. Either I can use this option here in my toolbar, or I can come to File and press New Model, or Control N as you saw. So before choosing any of those templates, I want to choose my standard units and default materials. I will choose kilonewton meter, but you guys can choose whatever you're comfortable with based on your local standards. That's perfectly fine for me. So I'm choosing this. I don't have any default material here for Australia. I'm based in Australia. There is New Zealand here, but it's not exactly what I want, so I leave it for United States. And then I will create it later after creating the model. But if you have your standards, you can perfectly actually use this one, and has less actually hassle to create the materials later. Okay, so here I need to choose the number of stories, say 5, number of x base 6, and then 8 for number of y base, and keep the story height 3 meters and bay width 6, and bay width for y 6 and x6, both of them. If this option doesn't give you too much flexibility to create the grid line as you like, because they don't have to be exactly the same. So if you come here and use custom grid spacing and locate origin, you can edit the grids here. What I'm really generally update and I don't like here, that the origin of my coordination is right at the center here, and you can see this is the grid spacing are symmetric from this line, and likewise here. So I always change this one and keep 0 at the bottom left of the coordination, which is generally we have typically. So let's change numbers. So I put 6. The numbers are incremental, so this is not clear space between grid lines, so you need to add them. The good thing is you have a view here, so if you put, for example, here 7 and come here, you can see a very small space between these two grids, so you can figure out there is a mistake, you can back and edit it. So I'll put some numbers here, 17, say 24 7 meter span, and then 30, then 36, and I can see them here. And likewise here again, 0 6 11 18 23 29, and then another, say 7 meter span, 36 and 42 and 44. You can edit elements grids here. For example, I don't want to have 9 base here, so what I can do, I can come here and delete this one and just adjust it again, like for Z. If you want to change it again, you need to do it here. So for example, you can change the story height a little bit more. For example, first to a story height 4 meters, and then you can come it again, this is incremental, so that would be 8, and here 3 meters 11 and 14 and 17. So I'm changing my story height. Again, I can delete some stories here or add some stories here, it's up to me. If I want, I can come here and again add. And also you can rename these stories. You can put level 1, level 2, level 3. It's up to you what you want to put. So for example, I can put roof here. And then keep the bubble size reasonably good to be able to see the grid numbers, and then I press OK. So this is for edit grid. Beams and columns are default material. We can add sections here, or default sections. We can add sections here, but generally I don't do that because it doesn't give me enough flexibility. All beams and all columns are actually just one section, one type of section. So I leave it as default. Restrained, generally you can remove restraint or you can keep it. If you keep it, by default is pin connection. So if you don't want it, you can remove it. Then I press OK. You can see a model with 5 levels created for me with the number of spans I define and the spaces, and all beams and columns are just there, nothing else. So let's add some more elements. Let's come to Z4, and then I'm adding some shell elements. Again, all sections I'm drawing currently are default section because I haven't specified any other section. We will do it later. So if I come here, I am using this quick shell draw. So if I choose all of them together, it gives me shell for all spans. It's not very visible here. I'm doing some other element. I'm drawing some other elements here and then show you how to make it more visible. So I'm doing this intentionally. I'm drawing one big shell element here, and then I draw another one here, maybe just to the middle. You know, this edge and line is activated to snap, so I can easily come and keep this one somewhere here at the middle, and maybe another one coming, 2 more like this. And then let's go to draw some walls. So I'm coming to YZ plane and I draw some shells. Again, if I choose this one like this, it gives me one big shell. If I use quick draw and I draw it like that, it gives me separate shell elements. And I draw some elements, say to half of the span, or even cutting to a span like this. Okay, to make it more visible, you need to come to set display options, go to general options and active fill object. It's there, but because I didn't apply, it doesn't show me. So if I come here, currently this view is activated. If I apply, you can see the colors are more clear and you can see frame and shell at the same time. Likewise here, I need to activate this plane and apply, and you can see easily all those frame and shells. Currently the color, because you choose object, the color here is based on objects. So all shell objects are red, all frame objects are blue. Doesn't matter what type of section you're using. So this is YZ plane. I'm going to XZ plane and I'm adding some braces. So currently I'm on grid 8. So if I stay here, I can see this line is cyan. So I start drawing some braces. So you can use, if you're going for quick brace, you can, for example, drag and draw braces at the same time, or just click on each span separately. I talked to you about some bugs in brace. If I come to, for example, invert V, what I see here is left eccentricity and right eccentricity, but this is not correct. You should have 3 options: center, left and right. And actually what you see here is currently center. So if I press 1 here, and it looks like it's left eccentricity, but if I click here, you can see this is the center eccentricity, not left eccentricity. When you draw the first one, if you click here, you can see all 3 options. So there is a bug here in software that I raised it to CSI, and they are investigating and updating in the next revision. Now I have all 3 options. So if I keep it, for example, 0 and come here and put 1 each side, and then come next one and draw, it's drawn correctly. Generally, we don't have all eccentricities. We have either the center eccentricity or end eccentricities. And I want to do the same. So let's draw some more, and then the same for floors, and let's move on from there. So eccentric back, again, you cannot see left eccentricity. The title is here, which is not correct. It should be left and right. So actually the first one is always left. So if I keep this one 1 and come here and draw, you see this gives me just left eccentricity. If I click here, now the wording is correct and the options are correct. So I have left and right eccentricity. So I can come here and choose right eccentricity and just draw it here like that. Now I put it 0 here and draw this one, and also the other eccentric forward. Again, as soon as I do this, you can see you are missing one option. If you want it from the beginning and you don't like to actually try and then back to editing, you can come, it's irrelevant, but this is how it shows. If you come here and press this secondary beam options, just press it because it gives you the right arrangement and options for drawings, then close it. Don't do anything. Again, when you back here, you can see the options here correctly. So just bear with it until it actually get fixed. So I can come here and keep it left, yep, keep it as it is, and when I'm pressing here, I can see the left eccentricity this side. I intentionally put more because I want to show you what's happening when I'm editing the grids. I press 0 and press 1 and draw some others. Okay, let's come to the plan and go to other plans and just draw some other eccentric elements here. So I can have left and right. I can go to eccentric back. If I want, I can do this, close it, and again bring it up to have both options. Then I can choose them. So I want to have right 1 and left 0, and then draw it here, for example, so they will be connected properly. And also V-braces. Again, I cannot see the center. I need to press here, close it, and again open this one. So then I have this. So I can put 1. I will just draw it, few, and then I can do the same as I said. I can drag and draw a few of them at the same time. It's not very normal that you have such braces in plan. I'm just showing something to you, so it's just a matter of practice. I will put some X braces, and I can draw like this and draw some X braces. Okay, so now assume that we want to change the grid lines. So if I come and edit grid lines, modify show system, I want to change some of them. For example, I want to keep this one 5 meter, and then 6 meter, and then another 5 meter, and then maybe 4 meters, whatever I want. Yeah, so here 6 meters, and then another 5 meters, 30. And for Y the same. So say the first one is okay, then I want to have 4 meters span, and then 6 meters span, or 7 meters span, 7 meters span, and then 6 meters span is okay. So this is say 28, so 5 meters, and then 32 4 meters, and 38. So before pressing OK, I need to choose glue to grid lines. If I do that, then all elements are connected to the grids will be moved. But you see that elements that are not connected to the grids, they will not move properly. So that's the issue you have when you want to change the grid line later. And keep the bubble size reasonably good. So that's 1.5. So if I press glue to grid line, and now I'm pressing OK. You can play with the floors as well. I don't know why roof didn't come here. I press roof, should stay here. I don't know why it's not, but now I'm pressing OK, and you can see in both views that when I press OK, what will happen. There we go. So elements like X braces, they are correct. But the elements that are not connected to the grid lines, they remain the same. And wherever they are, doesn't matter. And even you snap them to the, for example, midline of this point, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that when you edit the grid, it's still remaining at the mid. No, it's going, it's fixed based on the location of the coordination of this point. And if we check YZ direction for shells, you can see the same again. Wherever the shells are connected, they are adjusted. This one was not that long. This one was up to half of a here. Now it's out. And the same when I'm going down, you can see even this shell is completely out. So I will keep them as it is, and I will show you how to edit them. So this one was connected between joints, is fixed. All those elements are fixed. So that's the issue when you edit grids later on. So now see how we want to edit. Before going to edit elements, I'm just showing you one more thing about drawing elements. So I want to draw some secondary elements here. So I will say, okay, number of beams on each bay is 4, and the first space is half of a meter. The last space is half of a meter, and then this is parallel to y-axis, and number of beams 4, for example, is okay. So if I press here, you can see it's coming like that. Again, you can draw it like this, and it will be automatically adjusted based on each base. So you have half of a meter space, and you have 4 beams at the center. You can see they are not the same, and you can change this one to X numbers, for example 5, and say the first one is 1, then second, the last end is half. And if you press here, you can see this is half, this is 1, and the rest is coming based on the remaining of the space equally. And again, you can draw it wherever you want like this. I will leave editing the elements later in the next video because of I'm trying to keep the video time to 20 minutes, but I just show you some other features we have for copy and replicate. If I want to, for example, copy these secondary elements to the next bay, I can select them, just the middle elements, and like a command for Windows, Control C and then Control V, and then ask me here what would be the space you want. I can come here and select the delta X, Y, and Z I want to move. But to do that, I need to know exactly the space between these grids. So if the first span is 5 meter, I want to put it in the next 5 meter, I need to come here and change delta X to 5. I'm just doing, I haven't measured it, but I'm doing this, see how we go. So it's coming exactly here, but it's copied exactly as it is. It wouldn't be readjusted based on this frame. So you don't have half of a meter space each side and equal space the other sides, because this span is longer than this span. So just bear in mind that by copying or replicating, you wouldn't get exactly the same as arrangement. You have in terms of arrangement, I mean in terms of the relevant related to the span. But the space between the elements are exactly the same as it is as an absolute number. You can also move elements, so you can come here and select some of them, and then you can come to edit. You have the same options here, copy and paste, or even cut or delete, and also you can move them. So move is Control M, so Control C, Control V, Control X, exactly like a command we have in Windows, and then Control M for move. So when you press Control M, it gives you this option that either you can put delta X or Y or Z, or you pick 2 points, which is very easy to do. So this is generally I'm using. Say for example, I want to move them from this to this. That means this is the length I want to move them. And when I apply, they come exactly here. And let's make this one 3D. So we have some shell elements the other side. If I want to see, I can choose this option and then rotate my frame so I can see the elements here. So I want to move these elements to the other side. So what I can do, I can, for example, select these shells. So to select shell elements, for example, you can select all of them at the same time, and they coming here to deselect and say I want to deselect all, for example, beams. So I'm coming here and say all beam sections deselected. So I have just shell selected, or you can pick them one by one. Yep. And then you want to copy them to the other side. You have another option except copy and paste. The name of option is replicate. Replicate is Control R. So if I come here to replicate, I have few options here. I can just replicate linearly or pick 2 points, which is very easy to do, or I can mirror it. So I'm working on the linear replication currently for you. So currently this is x-axis, we are in YZ plane, so I need to move them to x2 to go to the other direction. What can I do is easily I can choose 2 points from here to the end, or I come to the plan if it's not clear for me and do this. So I'm going pick 2 points and I'm selecting from here to here. Now it's my choice that first of all how many numbers I have for this length. I may say 5 meters, and every 5 meters I need one set. I will show you later. And also I can say delete the original one. I want to keep that one, so I just press apply, and you can see the same elements going to the other way. So if currently I'm on grid G, let's go to the plan. I'm on grid G. If I want to come to grid A, because this is the last grid, I just need to move one forward, and I can see the same on grid A. I didn't pick the 2 others, this one, so it didn't come. If I want, I can simply select this one, and the space I selected is still here. I don't need to do anything. I just need to simply apply. And now if I get back to grid A, I can see the same element here. So let's see what else we can do with replicate. I think its plan is more clear for you guys, so I'm coming here. I'm just showing, regardless of the it's wouldn't be a nice model, but I'm just showing what we can do with grid. For example, you have X brace here, so it's Y6, Y0 to Y6. You can see the coordination numbers here always. So Y0 to Y6. So if I choose these two and say I want to replicate them, dy minus 6, and put this one 0, and say okay, I want of these 4, and I want the first one to be deleted, and apply. You can see I have 4 replicated elements. The first one is removed. Or the other option we have is mirror for replication. So if I choose this brace and I want to put it here and I want to mirror it, I need to know exactly this span. So this is x30, this is x0. So the mirror line would be x15. So I need to come here and say x15 for both of them, and then y0 and y1. That means the line is aligned with y on grid x15, and I deselect the delete option. I want to keep this. I just want to have the same brace the other side. When I press apply, it's going the other way. So this replication was based on the line align y direction. If I want to choose a line align x direction, I just need to change these numbers according to that. For example, if I want to mirror this one from here to the other end, here is y38 and here is y0, so y19 is my number. So I need to come here and select, for example, 0 and 1, but both of them would be 19. That means the line from x0 to x1 is my base. It could be any length, so we can put it 10, it doesn't matter. As far as these two coordinations are correct and the same, then that would work. So if I press apply, you can see this one going the other way. These are replication parallel to Z plane. You can do it parallel to Y or X. You guys can try and we can discuss about it in our workshop just due to time constraint. So this is basically what I wanted to tell you about using drawing elements and also replication, move, and copy. I will continue talking about edit elements in the next video.